with me as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Singing our national anthem for us once again today. From Manny, Louisiana, Heidi Knight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
National anthem, guys.
The Bassmaster League at Toldeo Bend, presented by Econola, is brought to you by Toyota, Shell Rosella, White Rose, Nitro, Hummingbird, Mercury, Skeeter Boats, Minn Kota, Berkeley, Yamaha, and by Powerboat. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dave Mercer.
Wow-wee, Manny, Louisiana Championship Sunday for the third time of the season. This, the Bassmaster Elite at Toldeo Bend, presented by Econo Lodge. Are you ready? Wow, what a tournament we have had. The fifth time here in the last 7 years, and every single time you guys come out and roll out the red carpet. It is absolutely incredible, the support this local community, all these fishing freaks, and the incredible bass of Toldeo Bend have given us here at the Bass Angler Sportsman Society. So I would like you guys to make some noise for one of the most successful Bassmaster Elite Series events ever. A very, very different tournament this time around. As you guys have seen, every single time we've come here, this tournament has been won a different way. And that shows me just how incredible this body of water is. I mean, every time we come, it throws a different loop of challenges, but the challenges were so much more this time. The way these fish were set up, we all know there's tons of fish here, an incredible fishery, but this literally is gonna come down to whoever caught that last minute fish. You look at our cast of characters. Jamie Hartman, Elite Series rookie, fishing his third Elite Series. He's already got 1 second at the first stop of the year. This is a man in his 40s. qualified for the elites, salvaged everything in his life, literally sold his house and put his belongings in storage, and now he lives on the road and basically at Econo Lodges, I guess, all year long, chasing fish, following his dream. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? But boy, the guys behind him, you got Casey Ashley, the 2015 class. We got any Casey Ashley fans? Woo! Behind him, John Murray. We're talking about, let's hear it for John Murray. We are talking about truly a West Coast legend. This man has won basically 50 bass boats in his life in the West Coast. With a team tournament, 77 bass boats, over $1 million in West Coast earnings, and one of the pioneers of this sport. But what has eluded him his whole life? An Elite Series victory. His very first Bassmaster victory came right here in Toldeo Bend, and we might see a lifelong dream come true here today. Let's hear it for John Murray. Well, you never, and I'm not going to go down through the whole 12 because these guys are ready to weigh some fish, and I know you guys are ready to see them, but you cannot talk about Championship Sunday without talking about the angler in 4th place. Until he came on the Elite Series, nobody had ever come deeper than 6th place to win an Elite Series event. But when Jason Christie's here on Championship Sunday, crazy things happen. Let's hear it for Jason Christie. Just a few years ago, came all the way from 11th place to win an Elite Series event. So it is going to be fun. No matter what way this works out, we are going to crown an incredible champion. And you guys are going to have a whole bunch of fun. Who enjoyed the expo today? Had a lot of fun? Want to thank Econo Lodge, all our great partners. Berkeley, I was over at the Go RVing booth. They got lots of cool stuff. Coast is actually giving away a bass boat, so make sure you swing by there. So many cool things going on here. Toyota's got tons of stuff going on, so make sure you enjoy those. But I'm ready to weigh some fish. And before we do that, yeah, let's hear it for weighing some fish. I say I'm ready to weigh some fish. Really, I don't do nothing. I just stand up here and talk. And the guy who weighs the fish, let's bring him up. Our tournament director, Mr. Trip Weldon. Trip, boy, this tournament is gonna come down to that big bite, and you know, we've seen that happen. You know, when Prosnick won here, it was that one last-minute big bite, and we don't know who's got it, but it's gonna be fun.
Well, I think it's going to come down to the wind as well, Dave. You know, a lot of guys didn't want wind, the others wanted wind. Careful what you wish for on Toldeo Bend, right? The wind blows out here. I've been out here since the mid-90s, and every time I've been here, the wind blows. But so it's going to be interesting, like you say, to see how it shakes out. Great Lake, I think we kind of hit it in between. You know, last year the fish had moved out and gotten in their summer positions, and I think with this full moon, according to what the guy said, you got a whole nother wave of spawners coming up. So you got fish going both ways. But these are the best in the world, so we're going to have a champion today, I feel like. If we don't, we'll time. We'll go out and fish a couple more hours, whatever. But a lot of people to thank, you know, I talked about it yesterday, Dave. 6 days after the Bassmaster Classic, we have to turn around and hit the road again. And it's so great to come back to a place like this. Wonderful facility. Linda Curtis Sparks, Kelly, Mike, all the people here at the park. They do a wonderful job. We had 3 high school teams help us here, and I had to write it down so I wouldn't mess it up. East Beauregard, North Sabine, and Hornbeck, they helped tote our fish back. So you guys can catch them again one day. We had the one lunker that Jason Christie caught, our Finney Smoked Big Bass right now, was caught 2 days shy of a year ago, and we know it's been caught twice, but most likely it's been caught several more times. And so kudos to those guys. But Cypress Men, Louisiana Tourism, Sabine River Authority, everybody, give all those guys a nice hand. It's been a phenomenal week.
It really has been an incredible week, and we have 12 anglers ready to come up here, and you guys are going to be a big part of this. We need you guys, and it's never hard here because you guys are fishing freaks. Here in Manny, Louisiana, you guys know how to make noise. And who here wants to be on TV? Wow. That was not that good. Nobody back there wants to be on TV. How you get on TV is you're loud and crazy, and thankfully to our great sponsor, Econo Lodge, some of you got these Econo Lodge towels, and some of you might get a few more of them. We're going to have a fan frenzy. I need you guys to go absolutely crazy with our fan frenzy team. Going to throw out some Econo Lodge towels. 1, 2, 3. good, but look at that sign there. Jamie the Hammer Hartman. That is, it's bedazzled. You bedazzled that sign. Look at it sparkle in the sun here today. I think you guys can do better than that, honestly. I mean, it's Louisiana. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not good at making you cheer. So I decided I would bring some Cajun royalty up here, some Louisiana royalty up here, and around the world. This great show, this great family represented you guys and still does an incredible job. We got any Duck Dynasty fans in the house? I'd like to bring out from Duck Dynasty, put your hands together for Martin. Martin, I think these people will cheer louder for you.
I guarantee you that it will. Look, I've been talking to Trip back here, and he said that the crowd in Tuscaloosa is way better than anything us Louisiana folks can do. Now, I need y'all to prove him wrong. What do y'all think? No! We got any Tiger fans in here?
Ain't got nothing in Arkansas.
That's what I'm talking about.
You were backstage. You saw some of those fish. Are these guys gonna have some? Don't say who, but are these guys got something to cheer about?
Boy, don't y'all. This place and these guys went out there and put a pretty good whooping on them considering the conditions. So I was impressed. I don't know what that means, but they got them. They brought it. So y'all bring it when they come up here for them because they worked their tails off today.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Martin, Commander Duck Dynasty. Now, you guys have learned how this works, so we're going to try it one more time now that all our cameras are in the crowd. When you see these towels spin, even if you're way back there and you can't hear me, you see these towels spin, you need to get really, really loud. So one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are just about ready. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one more time. Are you ready? No. This is Championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, at the third stop of the Bassmaster Elite Series. The Bassmaster Elite at Toldeo Bend, presented by Econo Lodge. Are you ready? Let's get ready to win! Our first angler, our day 3 leader, give him a little love, Jamie Hartman. Jamie, look at that sign there, bedazzled. Jamie the Hammer Hartman, and you definitely hammered him here this week, and what a week it's been. I mean, you are 3 events in your Elite Series career. You know, and back here on Championship Sunday for the second time, dude, what is going through your mind?
There's a lot going through my mind right now. I'm just so grateful and so blessed to be here. Man, it's been a long road, a long journey, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. Just, you know, man, I couldn't do it without the support, my sponsors, you know, just my family, my friends, all my friends just keep pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. So, I mean, they helped me right along the way. I don't know what else to say, man. I am just so happy to be here. This crowd is absolutely insane. I've never seen nothing like this. Not from this view. Woo! Thank you, everybody. It's an honor to have you here and to have us here. Thank you so much.
A true champion both on and off the water. You got to sweat it out for a few minutes and go backstage and see how this whole deal works out. We're going to bring you out last as our leader, but before we do that, I got to ask you because, you know, we've been watching. Luckily or unluckily, at certain times we couldn't get you on Bassmaster Live. How were you catching your fish this week? I mean, yesterday on stage you said you were doing things yesterday that you hadn't done all week.
Oh, man, yeah, it's crazy. I scrapped my practice pretty much, you know. I tied like, I think I had 22 rods tied up, you know, and I just started narrowing it down. A drop shot was an actual big player for me. I caught a lot of key fish on it. I had well, here it is. I got one in my pocket. It's a little loudmouth rattle bait, or a rattle weight. Put that on the drop shot, 32 feet of water, I was catching them. Just, pretty much one after another until they stopped biting. I threw a little finesse jig, Riot Baits finesse jig called the Minnow. That was the one I used at Cherokee too for the largemouth. It's a killer, absolute killer. Carolina rig, jig, football jig. Man, I don't know, the list goes on and on. Trick worm, Magnum trick worm, it just goes on and on. It was just all scrap fishing, it just kept moving and moving and moving. Like I said, I'd be in 3 feet of water. Yesterday I said, well, why don't I try bed fishing? So I did. I got 3 bed fish. I didn't do it today, the wind was crazy. So just jumping and jumping, moving around, and it all paid off. I mean, it's crazy out there today, and thank God, I run a nitro. That baby got me from here all the way to that south end, halfway back up, all the way back down again, and then all the way back up here with that mercury on the back of it, man. It just, I didn't get beat up. My cameraman got a little wet, but I never got a drop.
Well, I mean, he gets paid to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
A great tournament for you, a great start to your season, and I would love to see that nitro drive you $100,000 at the end of this deal. Before we send him off the stage, let's hear it one more time for Jamie the Hammer Hartman. Go back there and keep your fish safe. Some of you thought he had no fish, huh? Don't worry, he's keeping them backstage. Are you ready to meet our angler who went out in 12th position? From Blackburn, South Carolina, a 3-time Classic qualifier, a 2-time Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open champion, Andy Montgomery. Andy Montgomery started the day with 46 pounds and 14 ounces, 5 fish, looking for 10 pounds, 2 ounces to take the lead. Away from Jamie Hartman, and we'll see what he has to say about that in a few minutes. He brings fish up here, 18 pounds, 11 ounces. Brand new leader with 65 pounds, 9 ounces for the 3-time Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier from Blackburn, South Carolina. Woo! 65 pounds and 9 ounces, and throw 18 pounds, almost 19 pounds on stage there on Championship Sunday on a day that, I mean, when you rolled up here this morning to launch your boat and you saw those flags, what went through your head?
Well, I planned on going all the way up north, like 35 miles. I tried to talk myself out of it, and I talked myself back into it. I went 35 miles north in that stuff. That wasn't very smart, folks, let me tell you. I caught 4 little fish up there, and the whole way back, which took me about an hour and a half, I'm thinking, you just made the worst decision in your career. But luckily, I was able to, this afternoon I got in some areas and was able to salvage the day, still waiting a couple little ones, but whew, it's been a good week. Last year, the final day I caught 23. I said, oh, Andrew's gonna get sit in that hot seat sometime today. Nope, they all caught like 24, 25. So I started in 12th, that way I knew I'd get to sit in the hot seat at least for one person.
Well, you are going to get that opportunity. This week, was it one key bait or was it a bunch of different baits?
It was pretty much what I caught one big one sight fishing. Caught the rest of them on a Strike King tour grade skipping jig. I was 7-1 skipping rod. Get asked all the time, what action rod do I need to skip docks with or skip trees? Now you ain't got it. If you can read skipping, I got it wrote on my rod. Andy Montgomery, skipping rod. You'll have the perfect action. It's a Daiwa Tatula Elite Series skipping rod, Tatula SB Reel, and man, the conditions was perfect for me. That's what I love to do. I just put the trolling motor down and I look for shade. It didn't matter if it was a bush, a tree, a dock. If there's somebody swimming, if they let me skip underneath their arm, I'd do it. As long as it was throwing shade, I wanted to put my skipping jig underneath that shade and see what I could come out with. So I had a bad day on day 2. I wish I could have that back. I could have won this tournament. Well, I don't know. Depends on what all these cats caught. But had a bad day on day 2, but man, I love Toledo Bend. This is my 3rd top 12 here. My absolute favorite place in the country.
Skipped your way into a good finish.
Hey, I know this. I said Texas last year, and I got booed off the stage. So I'm gonna say Louisiana this year. You know, these Cajuns, they like to do two things. They're half Canadian and half South Carolina redneck. They like to drink. Dave's a Canadian. He likes a lot of alcohol. Me, I like to kill stuff and I like to eat it. That's the reason the Cajun. He's half Canadian and he's half redneck. If you want to know anything about eating something wild, you can ask me. If you want to know something about drinking, don't ask me. I ain't never drank. Ask Dave. I bet Dave ain't never had a squirrel, but I have.
No, I haven't. I got offered one once by the Howell boys. I did, literally. True story. Sorry to get off track, but true story. We went to shoot something with Randy Howell, and Rob and their beautiful mother said to the boys, "Hey, you need to eat more at lunchtime." We went to this Mexican restaurant. It was a good Mexican restaurant, and Laker's response was, "Mom, I ate 3 squirrels today. I'm fine." And that is something you don't hear in Canada, I will tell you that much.
Hey, at the classic dinner, I think that's Todd's boys. I ain't never seen that. Todd's Fairclough boys, yeah. We said at a couple more pros, I ain't gonna call their names because I ain't gonna embarrass them, but me and Todd got to talking about eating squirrel. Todd said, "Hey, my boys eat redbird, blackbird, they don't care. You grill it, they'll eat it." So you need to ask Todd about eating redbird.
This weigh-in has already gone in the wrong direction. Skip on over there to our hot seat. A 4-time Bassmaster winner, the 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion from Guntersville, Alabama. Everybody howl for Randy Howell. Woo! 47 pounds even to start today. 5 fish to add to it, looking for 18-10 and 9 pounds, 14 ounces. And Andy Montgomery gets to spend a little bit more time in our hot seat, but let's celebrate Randy Howell made a tremendous charge to get here in our top 12. Woo!
I didn't even get the biggest one out of there. That's a shame. I'm trying to get a crowd out of it, because that's the size that most of us catch, right? Bassmasters don't always catch 7 pounders. On TV we do. But like in real life, when the wind blows 25 and you don't know where else to go, that's the size you catch. So today was a tough day for me. I started out in 11th place. You know, by the way, he's funny. Hey, how funny is he? Ain't he funny? He's crazy. People don't know how funny he is when he gets wound up, especially when he catches fish. But he knew he had me beat, so he was all fired up to get up here and weigh in. But we fished hard this week, and I'm thankful because I never really was on much of a pattern, much of a good area or anything. Just kind of junk fished my way and made it in, and I gained some points back that I needed. I love coming here to this area, not just because of the fishing, but because of the great people and the great food. And I heard y'all telling a story about Laker and Oakley about eating squirrels or something. And you put Tony Satchery's stuff on, so it all tastes good, right? They can eat anything, but I starved to death out there. That's why I'm so skinny. All the fish I caught this week
You're 3 hours deep in Louisiana.
They need to fatten up for it, just like me.
Well, depending on which way you look at it. It could be 10 minutes from Texas.
Fished hard, like I said, I caught most of my fish a 7-pounder the first day on a Livingston 121C. It's a Hank Cherry jerk bait. It's a great jerk bait. A lot of fish caught this week on it. And then I caught most of the rest of them flipping a Yamamoto flapping hog and side fishing. And I caught a few on spinnerbait. And today, the last 3.5 hours, I ran all the way to the dam like a dummy. Like Andy was saying, he ran all the way up the lake, and I ran all the way down, and I flipped and punched mats all day with 1.5 ounce weight, trying to catch a big one. Because I knew if I could catch 3 or 4 big bites flipping, that would have a chance to get you back in the hunt. And that's what you can do. I couldn't fall past 12, so that's a good thing to be in on that last day. So everything worked good. My Daiwa rods, like Andy was saying, we got a line of Tattoola Elite signature rods that we're just come out with now. They're doing great. Andy's a skipping rod, mine's a crankbait, jerkbait rod. And then Ishman Rowe, I caught a lot of my fish flipping with his rod this week. And that's about it, man. I hope we get to come back. I hope the lake comes up higher, some more grass grows in it, and those fish keep spawning and get big for us. And maybe I'll catch that 10-pound replica one of these days. But thank all my sponsors, Scales and Daiwa, Pelican, a lot of the companies that support us, Triton, Mercury. We appreciate them. Power Pole for feeding everybody the other night. A great meal here. And that's about it. We'll see you guys at wherever we go next. Mississippi, yeah.
Congrats on another great top 12 finish. Woo. Our next thing, you gotta leave. You're done. You're done. Our next angler won the first ever Elite Series event he fished. A 4-time FLW Tour champion, 5-time Classic qualifier. B Height, Red Height. Red Height started today with 47 pounds and an ounce, looking for 12 pounds, 13 ounces. Moves into second place with 59 pounds, 14 ounces. Let's hear it for him. Made it through a gauntlet of Elite Series assassins to finish our top 10. Moves into second place with 59 pounds, 14 ounces. And, you know, with the way this tournament worked out, I mean, day number one, Rockets came out firing, but boy, it got a lot tougher as the week moved on, but no matter what happened, you salvaged a great finish here.
Yeah, you know, it was, you know, I told you earlier in the week I had one really good day of practice and 2 bad days, so I wasn't really optimistic that I was going to catch them, but, you know, that first day was pretty special. It was a fun day, you know, I've been fishing the way I want to fish, trying to catch those big stringers, but, you know, it's between the pressure and, you know, fish, it's just been hard to pattern them. You know, it's real inconsistent out there, and it's hard to catch consistent fish every day and get a couple of those big bites. But, you know, it's been a great week. You know, trying to get some points. I kind of stumbled at Cherokee, had a good tournament at Okeechobee, had a good tournament at Classic, and then just trying to get that momentum going, ride that train a little bit. But you know, it's fun. I love fishing here. And, you know, I've been catching them on my Evergreen Jackhammer. That's by Chatterbait. You can actually buy it in the stores here in the U.S. now with the Yamamoto Zako on it. I fished half ounce this week just because the grass is a little subsurface and immature. I was throwing a white one and a green pumpkin one, just kind of mixing it up. I just put those 2 rods in my hand all week and just, man, chucking one. But you guys are awesome. I mean, you guys, you know, you really treat us well every time we come here. You know, I'm staying at Tranquility Bay, and the people over there are just such nice people. Stay in my Lance camper. You guys want to check out a Lance camper? Well, they got a couple over here. But, you know, I got to thank all my sponsors. I think I represent the best people in the industry, whether it's equipment or baits. And you know, I really got to thank them. If it wasn't for them, I couldn't be doing this. Obviously, I got to thank my family too. Love you guys, and you know, whoever wins this thing, I might have a little hunch of who it is, but we'll see how it is, and I think it's going to be pretty special.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing how it works out. Congratulations. I know you're going to get loud. A 5-time Bassmaster Elite Series champion, 15-time Classic qualifier from Jasper, Texas. Starting today with 47 pounds, 9 ounces. He's got 5 fish, looking for 18-1, 14 pounds even. He moves into second place with 61 pounds and 9 ounces. There you go. Woo! 61 pounds, 9 ounces, Todd, and moving to second place. And I know you would love to take this title this week in front of so many of your friends, but yesterday at weigh-in, I mean, at that time you waited, you probably didn't think you were going to get a shot to get out here today. So a great finish, no matter what way you look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime you make the top 12 against this group of guys, you've had a great week, and I had a great week this week. You know, I was fishing 3 different deals. I was fishing out with a Carolina rig on a Strike King caffeine shad, caught a few on a 6XD. Then in between, I was fishing some grass, high drilling a milfoil with a bladed jig, a Strike King Pure Poison in our brim color, and then I flipped mats as well with a shell cracker. So I had several things that were working, and I really felt like the mat deal after the second day was going to be my way, you know, maybe win, and that deal just kind of fizzled out on me. But had a great week. You know, that's testimony to Toldeo Bend. You know, you can fish shallow, you can fish in between, you can fish deep and catch fish. There's a lot of fish doing a lot of different things right now, but there's not a lot of fish doing the same thing right now. So, But always great to be here. I want to thank all these guys for coming out. It's always, this is one of the biggest crowds we ever have. It doesn't matter where we go in the country. And that's a testimony to this lake and the people that love the bass fish. And I want to thank you guys for coming out and supporting us this week. And I grew up fishing Sam Rayburn, Toldeo Bend, where I learned how to bass fish. And I fished against a lot of you guys out here growing up. And it's just a special place to me. Love you.
You thought you were just going to sit there for one angler.
I told you I caught 23 last year and didn't even get to smell this thing. I want to sit here as long as I can. Hey, I got a 1:40 flight tomorrow out of Bass Pro headquarters in Springfield, so I do need to get out of here sometime today so I don't have to change my flight.
You want to leave now?
No, sir.
Okay. I thought I knew the answer. This next angler is a scary, scary quitter. He won the first 2 Elite Series events he fished. Get loud from Indianapolis, Indiana, Jacob Wheeler. Woo! The youngest angler to ever win the Forest Wood Cup, a 3-time FLW winner, and in his 4th event here in the Bassmaster Elite Series, he's already won 2. 47 pounds, 11 ounces start today, looking for 17, 15, 9 pounds, 7 ounces. You move into 4th place with 57 pounds, 2 ounces. Well, let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Boy, a charmed life indeed. I mean, you've fished 4 Elite Series events now. You made the top 12 in 3 out of the 4 and won 2 of those 3. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an unbelievable last few years, and you know, it's so crazy going into this event. I was definitely not on them at all. I felt like I was, struggling to catch 12 pounds a day, 13 pounds a day, and went out there the first day and just had one of those decisions. Actually caught 13 pounds pretty quick on the shad spawn, and I was like, you know what? I need to go out there and draft around, look for some big ones, and look out deep. And I draft over a place, and I see 3 big giant dots on my Lowrance structure scan. I'm like, all right, I jump to the front of the boat. When I draft over them, drop my trolling motor, that all track, hit spot lock, run to the back of the boat with a BT20, chuck it out the back, crank, lock up, 5/8, throw back out there, catch a 4, and then 10 casts later, I was like, man, I know that one's still down there somewhere, catch a 7-11. I was living, it was pretty sweet. It was pretty sweet, it was awesome. So that was my tournament though. I mean, realistically, I went out there, I wasn't on a whole lot, so I knew like I was gonna have to scramble around and catch them regardless. And today I draft for the majority of my day. I went out there and I looked and I draft and I draft and I draft, and my buddies back home, they always give me a hard time when I don't catch a limit. I said, I had 1 bass in the live well, I said, man, I don't want to hear that tonight. Gosh dang. So I picked up that spinner rod and I went and caught me 5, so that way I didn't forget.
Well, a great tournament, no matter what way it is. It's when you think of what you've done here in just 4 events, I mean, it's almost unfathomable.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, obviously, you don't expect that kind of stuff. I mean, you have to cherish those moments. I mean, this is not something you expect to go out here and catch them all every time. And, I've had a really good start to the season, and I mean, it feels good to be inside the top 10 of an AOI and have a chance to possibly, get up there and have a contention to win it eventually. I mean, Andy's doing great, Otter's doing great, a lot of good buddies are doing real well. And I mean, that's the thing, that's really what it comes down to. At the end of the day, it's that tournament of winning that AOI championship. I mean, that's the most prestigious award to win in our sport. Of course, the Classic is awesome, but if you ask everybody else out here, there's no doubt that AOI is #1 because you were the best guy the whole season. And, I have my eye on that prize. There's no doubt about it. And to go work hard and go try to find some places on these next handful of lakes and go pre-practice and look hard. And the thing is, I mean, I go out there and I work hard. There's no doubt about it. I go and I'll spend 5-6 days on a lake and a body of water, and that's what I do. I mean, I'm young, 26 years old, and these guys have so much knowledge. They have so much knowledge of these bodies of water. So the only way I feel like I can beat, these awesome anglers out here is outworking. And that's the only thing, I don't have that knowledge. I don't have that knowledge that they have. I have to go out there, I have to work hard, and I have to go find it. I don't have the history. So that's sort of what I'm doing, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And I mean, it's really been a blessing.
Hard work is paying off in a big, big way. Let's hear it for Jacob Wheeler. Woo! Anybody watch the Classic last week? Jordan Lee won it. His brother making his very first top 12 here in the Bassmaster Elite Series. A former Carhartt College Bass champion. Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier. Matt Lee would love to join Jordan in a trip to the bank. Unfortunately, here on Championship Sunday, a tough day. Two fish with 4 pounds, 10 ounces. Going to give you 53 pounds and 4 ounces. You move into 7th place. And boy, you're here on Sunday, though. I mean, I know that was not the goal when you left the dock this morning, but the good news about going on Sundays, you can't drop too far and they'll stand it.
No, I mean, going out today, you know, it's either meant to be or what. I mean, I was fishing in a popular area of the creek down in popular area of the lake down in Housing Creek. And I got there wasn't a lot of spectators, there wasn't a lot of boats fishing. I thought it was going to be really good, and that south wind, it just muddied it up. But I've caught almost more than 30 pounds of fish off almost one cast. And everybody else, you know, around has been fishing too, but I've just been stuck with it and go back late in the day when everybody kind of gave up on it. And I've caught, you know, a couple fish over 4 pounds every day, right there in 4 or 5 foot of water. But basically all this week I was fishing down there, you know, when I was in practice, they had the hydrilla and all that. That's what I'm comfortable doing, being back home with butters while I'm fishing like that. And I fished Pure Poison. It's a 1/2 ounce vibrating jig, and all these fish are spawning down there. And it's kind of a deal. I was hoping they were coming to me, but they're going away from me. And the grass starts out in 5 foot of water, and then they're right there on the edge. A lot of people are fishing up on the bank or way out. I was in between that. But it feels awesome to be here, you know. Once you watch your brother win the Classic, you know, if that doesn't burn you to do well, nothing does. And it's awesome to be here.
It's awesome to have you here, and I can guarantee you'll be back here on another Championship Sunday. Speaking of the Geico Bassmaster Classic, he is the 2008 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion, an 18-time Classic qualifier, Elton Jones. Elton Jones started there with 49 pounds, 14 ounces, looking for 15-12. 15 pounds, 5 ounces. Elton Jones moves into 2nd place.
Man.
May just be late for his flight. 65 pounds at 3 ounces and just 7 ounces short of the overall lead. But Championship Sunday performance here, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's great. And I apologize, my voice, I left it out on the lake somewhere, I guess. But, you know, it's great looking out at this crowd and seeing, you know, this is what bass fishing's all about. And no matter how long you fished or what your walk of life is, as bass fishermen, we all have something in common. And I appreciate all y'all coming out.
I don't want to stress your voice too much, but I see you have a bait in your hand, so I'm imagining you either want to give it to me or talk about it.
Yeah, I caught the majority of my weight this week. It's a bait called a Young Bad Mama, and I was Texas rigging it. I was running way up north towards Circle Drive, fishing muddy water, flipping shallow willows and buckbrush, and the fish were in the thickest possible stuff. You couldn't pitch by a bush. You had to like pitch over in the middle of it. And you'd actually, every fish you'd hook, you'd pin them and you'd have to go get them. But one of the keys to keeping those fish on the thick cover, I don't know if you can see it from here, but I'm using a hook called a zone lock hook. It's got an unconventional bend in it, and what happens is when you hook those fish, their lip gets away from the barb into that unconventional bend. And it keeps the fish's mouth from ever getting back near the fish point, and it almost eliminates lost fish. And so it really was a lifesaver for me this week.
Worked out very good, and since you brought it on the stage, I get to keep it. That's how it works. And I know every single week on the Elite Series you write a scripture verse on your boat, and I'd like to give you that opportunity to share it right now. Thank you for the lure, by the way.
You're welcome. My verse for this week is Acts 4:12, and it's a verse that really summarizes the message of the whole Bible. It's a verse about Jesus Christ, and it says this. It says, "There is salvation in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven that has been given among men by which we must be saved." God bless you guys, and thanks for showing.
That our microphone qualifies for a wipe down. Next up, a former Bass Nation national champion, a two-time Elite Series champion from Rathdrum, Idaho, the prodigy, Brandon Polinick. Brandon Polinick started the day with 50 pounds and 9 ounces, looking for 15-1, 16 pounds, 12 ounces. Digging deep in that Berkeley weigh-in bag, Manny, Louisiana. Let's hear it for your brand new leader, Brandon Polinick. With that, we say hello to Brandon Polinick and goodbye to Andy Montgomery, but let's hear it for him as he leaves the stage. Brandon, you are leading this tournament with 67 pounds and 5 ounces, and who watched Bassmaster Live today? Cool as that live bass fishing. It's amazing. You know, we've been doing it for 3 years, but it's amazing that it just still amazes me, and especially when somebody starts like you did today. You know, we've battled cell reception all week long, and we're doing a hit on the end of the dock, and all I heard in my ears, we gotta go. Brandon Polinick keeps catching them. How did your morning go?
My morning was an absolute blast. You know, I spent the first 2 days fishing down south. I was throwing a bladed jig with a Zoom Z-Craw and catching them on an alpha angler rebound as a glass rod, and had an absolute blast doing that the first 2 days, but I wasn't catching them in the morning. And I had this one little spot close yesterday that I thought, you know, I'm gonna go maybe catch 10 or 12 pounds. Like I went there and caught almost 19 pounds, and it absolutely blew my mind. So I looked at my camera guy today and I said, man, we're just gonna go right around the corner. We're gonna hang out, have a good time, and there was more fish there today than I've ever seen there before. There must have been 40 fish in a grass patch smaller than this stage, and they just kept biting and biting. And so I just decided to stay in there all day. Caught almost 17 pounds, had an absolute blast, burned 4 gallons of gas in my Yamaha. And I'm up here leading the tournament.
A great start to this season. 3 events in and already 2 top 12s. Got to be happy with the way things are working out.
I am happy. You know, when we got our schedule, I looked at it and I thought this was going to be a really good year, and I marked one tournament on there that I needed to get through, and that was Okeechobee. And Okeechobee got the best of me again. I finished 105th, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Sets up well. I'm happy to have 2 top 12s. Absolutely love coming to Toldeo Bend. I've made the cut every time. I said that earlier. Finally made a top 12. I've made the 50 cut every time. And the crowd and the food here is always unbelievable and one of the best that we have every single time. So,
well, you know how this whole deal works. You get a nice cozy seat there in the hot seat, and we have 4 anglers left to go. This next angler, one of the most feared names in professional bass fishing. 4 Bassmaster wins, 14 tour wins from Park Hill, Oklahoma, Jason Christie. Jason Christie rolls out of Championship Sunday. Crazy things happen. 5 fish here today, looking for 14 pounds and 12 ounces to take the lead. 20 pounds and an ounce. 72 pounds, 11 ounces. Once again, Christie crushes them on Championship Sunday. With that, we say goodbye to Brandon Polinick. Let's hear it for him. And we say hello to Jason Christie. And we always say it. I mean, you came from the deepest in the back, 11th place to win your first Elite Series event, and have not slowed down since. And by the looks of things, craziness may have happened just again.
You know, that's the thing in the Elite Series. You just want to get to Sunday and have the opportunity, and whatever happens, happens. You know, like you said, I came from 11th to win. I came from 4th to win. Seems like if I'm leading, I lose it. But whenever you're not leading on the last day, you just kind of go fishing. And that's what I did today. You know, I had a couple of choices to make where I was going to fish at, and I decided to go back where I'd been fishing. And you know, I've been catching a lot of fish, and it changed today. I didn't get that many bites, but they were all bigger. You know, I was worried because how rough it was. You know, these guys fishing, and they were worried about where they were going to fish. I got up this morning, I went through every pair of underwear I had and got the newest, tightest ones I had. Make sure everything went good, but it was interesting. I'll tell you this, I switched props this morning, I pulled up and I seen the waves and I put a Fury 4-blade on. And I know it would have taken me another 30 minutes to get back. I just got so much quick control over it. I can, accelerate, slow down in those big waves. You said you want to know where the big fish came from, what it was caught on.
I also want to know the story, because there's a crazy story that goes with that fish.
Yeah, there is. The first morning we put in, and Edwin and I put in, and I'm idling out. Don't have a rod on the deck, and all of a sudden, it's low light. You can see, but you really can't see. All of a sudden, something comes out of the water and lands in my lap. And I thought it was a cottonmouth, an alligator, or something. There was a few choice words come out of and it's flopping. So I look down there, it's like a 2.5 pounder. Bass. I don't know if you guys believe this, but things happen for a reason. And I put it in the back of this creek where, big fish don't live. Well, my practice wasn't going good. And the second evening when I came in, a little bit earlier, I fished down that stretch there and I catch like a 3 and a 4.5. And I thought, I might start here. I might be able to catch a limit. So the first morning I started there and I pulled in, I catch a 14.5 incher and I'm like, yes. I catch a 3-pounder and I'm like, yes. And I throw the old booyah spinnerbait down the side of the bank there and I'm telling you what, it was the best spinnerbait bite I've ever had. And I was really surprised. You guys don't know that fish was a lunker. It weighed 1032. It was caught in housing last year at the same week. And then I caught it, I don't even know the name of the creek above the bridge on the right there. And she lost, what was it? Holiday. And so that program's working. You guys that fish here a lot, you know that you don't want to cut the sides off of them. You want to let them go and let everybody else catch them again, because that wouldn't have happened had we not turned that fish loose. So it's been a fun week, according to practice, the way the practice I had. Even if I finished 4th, this has been a good tournament for me.
If you win this tournament, confirm or deny, next tournament you're just going to drive around, not pick up a rod, hoping fish will jump in your boat.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you the key part to that. So right where that fish jumped in my boat, this is a big pocket. It runs here to the boat ramp. No more than here to the guy in the blue shirts where I caught the 19.
So where the fish jumped in your boat is where you caught the biggest bass of this tournament?
Yes.
I told you crazy things happen when Christy rolls here on Sunday.
That's right. Like you said, next time I'm just going to eyes around and, instead of staring at those garbers all the time, I'm just going to wait for them to jump in the boat. Whenever one jumps in the boat, I'm just going to bring an anchor and throw it out and tie my boat up.
It worked out in this one. Let's hear it for Jason Christie. Woo! 3 more anglers left to go. Our next angler, originally from the West Coast, now lives in Spring City, Tennessee. A 7-time Classic qualifier, 2-time Bassmaster winner. Get loud for John Murray.
Enjoy yourself.
Returns to Toldeo Bend at the scene of his first ever Bassmaster win, and would love to get an Elite Series title here this week. Looking for 20 pounds and an ounce. 24 pounds! 16! John Murray is your brand new leader. Manny, Louisiana, get loud! Murray Moore! That fish is not full bait. I'm not an expert, but I would say 77 pounds, 10 ounces with that. We're saying goodbye to Jason Christie. Let's hear it for him. Weighing in from Phoenix Coast to Bass, biggest one of the day so far, 7 pounds, 9 ounces.
Take pictures.
He's a 7'7" and a 7'9". You are leading this tournament with 2 anglers left to go. On the very same lake that you won your first ever Bassmaster event. This has been something you've been dreaming of your whole life. And watching it happen on Championship Sunday, Early, those 3 big fish. Boy, talk to me about your day.
Yeah, sort of funny. I was going to commit to throwing a big jerkbait all day, and I got up there and the wind was blowing so hard, and I cranked for 2 days up there and hadn't got a bite. First day I caught him on a crankbait, so I dug it out of my box. And I picked it up and I caught a 12-incher. And I made a couple more casts and I caught a keeper. I go, maybe they'll hit the crankbait. So I got on my waypoint, there's a little foundation, and there's something really nasty next to it. I don't know what it is, but if you hit the foundation, you got a shot. So I made the long cast and I caught that first big one. And I don't know, I was, lost. So I turned the boat around and I made that cast, same cast again, 5 casts later, and the other big one hit it. So yeah, at that point I was a mess. The next cast, I snagged the nasty thing and I think I ruined the spot. But it was worth those 2, 7, 9, 7, 7. And it's literally, 200 yards from where I won the tournament, 14 years ago.
Oh, wow, that is incredible, and I can't wait to see the footage because, John, if it doesn't show something how much people, the last time I was in front of a crowd like this, and I saw this many tournament anglers, these guys, Steve Reese, Gerald Swindle, Hank Cherry, B. Height, Porosnik, all these guys standing around here. I mean, you guys have an incredibly busy schedule. The last time I saw this many guys sticking around on Championship Sunday was when Rick Clun won his 15th. And they're standing here for you. Tell me what that means.
That's the whole key to this sport is the friendships. And Rick Clun winning that tournament last year actually said, yeah, you have a shot to do it again. So I didn't think it was going to happen.
I also can't wait till you see the footage because I've also never seen a grown man giggle like an 8-year-old on national TV in my life, but we're all going to see it in a couple of weeks on ESPN too.
Yeah, that came from somewhere. When you get blessed like that, I mean, everyone says when it's your day, it's your day. Today was my day, and I'm just thankful it happened here in Toldeo Bend. I was a fan of the Hemp Hill Gang and all the big stuff, Tommy Martin, all those guys. All the big stars that started right here on Toldeo Bend. For me to win a tournament on this lake again, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, we're going to see how it works out. We got 2 anglers to make it through here. But boy, when people look at you up here and everything, I mean, this has been years in the making. How long have you dreamed of touching an Elite Series trophy and holding it over your head?
Yeah, it's sort of funny. I started the original Elite Series, and I thought I'd win one. Well, Skeets won about 10. B. Height wins the first one he comes to. I mean, all my buddies win them. Prosnick wins like the first one. I mean, Christie wins them every week. So yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever win one. Jacob Wheeler, I mean, everybody came over and win. I'm like, I think I'm running out of time. So hopefully this one works out, and if it does, man, it's going to be a lot of special for me.
Let's hear it for him.
Woo!
Before you go sit there, I got one thing to say. You said you didn't know if you'd ever win, and I don't know if you have won. But looking at all your friends standing around here, dude, you've won in life. Let's hear it for John Murray. Woo! Well, that just got interesting. Let's bring out our next angler from Donald, South Carolina. He is the 4-time Bassmaster winner, the 2015 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion, Casey Ashley. Casey Ashley rolled away from the dock in the Coastal Rat Freight in Mercury today, looking for a load. He's got 5 fish. Needs 24, but 17 pounds, 3 ounces, moves into 3rd place with 70 pounds and 6 ounces. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
I might as well hold the other thing.
70 pounds and 6 ounces, a great tournament no matter what way you look at it, Casey. And I know whenever you get out here on Sunday, you want to take that title, but not going to work out this time. But a great finish no matter what way you look at it.
Absolutely. Going into the day, I thought maybe I'd get around the 18, 20 mark and might have a shot to win. Good gracious, John Murray smoked today. My hat's off to him. I went into this tournament
not even knowing if I could catch one from day one. I put my trolling motor down. I didn't even know which bait I was going to start with or where I was going to throw it. I just went fishing, man, and hung in there on day one and just picked up and went fishing again, different areas on the second day and smacked them, you know. So this lake, like I said all day one, this lake is so good. You never know when you're going to stumble up on a 30-pound bag. That's why I love coming here. The people are great. I tell you, if you can get a crowd like this, we've been here, what, 5 or 6 times in my career, and y'all show up every time. Man, this is what it's all about. Woo! It's Bass fans in the United States, right here in Toldeo Bend. It's my second favorite place to come to, and I got to thank a lot of people. You know, I run my Coaster Trike and Mercury all over this lake, and it ain't like he was just running from here to there. You know, it's rough out there, man. The wind blows. I mean, you just get somebody sneezes on the lower end. It gets to be about a 5-footer when it gets to the bridge. I mean, this place is rough. So I just got to thank everybody. I mean, I'm telling you, please have us back here. I'm looking forward to it. I thought I could win, but my hat's off. My hat's off to John Murray. I mean, heck of a job this week. Take care of your lake. Keep putting fish in it and keep bringing us back. Thank y'all.
And then there was a 2. We're going to decide this right now, and I need you to get really, really loud. He's your day 3 leader, just 3 events into his Elite Series career, and his second top 12, a 7-time BFL champion from New York, Jamie the Hammer Hartman. Woo! Jamie Hartman, let's get side by side, guys. We're going to decide this right now. 5 fish. Started the day with 56 pounds at 15 ounces. Looking for 20 pounds, 12 ounces, 15 pounds, 8 ounces. Murray Molson on Championship Sunday. And right here in Toldeo Bend, the dream comes true. John, you have accomplished so much in your career, but this has eluded you until this, and you've already said it. You returned to the scene of your very first Bassmaster win, 200 yards away from where you took that, and you are now an Elite Series champion. Tell me how it feels.
Maybe I'll retire right now. I'm not real sure, you know. I've never felt this way before.
There they are, Team Murray, Amy and TJ Jordan. These victories do not happen alone. I mean, you were in the water today by yourself, but you were not by yourself. They watched every part of it, and they support you the whole way through it. You guys are Elite Series champions once again. Tell me how it feels.
I got to thank all my sponsors first. They've stuck with me thick and thin. Ranger Mercury, Lucas Oil, Luz, LaRue, River to Sea, I mean, Plano. I mean, those guys stick with you. We wouldn't be out here without them. And I got to thank them for it. I got a lot of friends here. Don McInnes, Billy Vio, who we stayed at. Skeet gets his house to stay. It's a beautiful place. That is camp. It's not a house. Anyway, Benny Masubu, Jim Furr, they moved here 10, 15 years ago. They've always been nothing but hospitable to me. I just want to thank all my friends. I got a lot of friends in Arizona, and now I got a lot of friends in Tennessee, and my adopted home in Tennessee, man. I'm really enjoying it. I got a dock. I live on a lake now. I mean, you don't think of those things when you're in Arizona.
Do you have a mantle in that house?
Yes, we do. Actually, it has a couple U.S. Open trophies that will be moved very soon. And my wife will decide where it's going to be. But yeah, most of all, I have to thank my family. I know I can't talk if I see those two. I mean, it's done. My mom, everybody, I appreciate everybody out there. Thank all you fans, man. It's just great to be here. Thank Powerful for that dinner the other night. I mean, that makes it coming here getting Chakri's coffees makes it worth here anyway. But I'll always have a sweet memory here, and always have, always will.
Well, before we make this official, Amy, I gotta ask you, I know how much support and how much love you have put into this team. What does it feel like to be an Elite Series champion?
Oh my gosh, I don't think it's hit me yet, but I
I appreciate everybody blowing up my phone. My butt is going on right now, but thank you so much. And I'm just so proud of this guy. He's worked so hard.
He has worked so hard. You've all worked so hard. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for John Murray. To do the trophy presentation, I'd like to bring out from Econo Lodge, the head of Econo Lodge, Craig Mustard, to do the handoff. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2017 Bassmaster Elite Series champion, John Murray. Murray mauls him on Championship Sunday and becomes an Elite Series champion. DJ, you've been in a lot of these weigh-ins. You've seen a lot of people hold that trophy. How cool is it that it's going home with you today?
The famous story is 2 years ago, we were cheering skeet, winning a tournament at West Point, and we're in our camper, and TJ turns to me, as only a kid could, and goes, "Daddy, how come you never win one?" So I did.
Well, before we let you leave the stage, you gotta ask, how did you catch him this week? I mean, it seemed like you went through a bunch of stuff today.
I did. I went through the kitchen sink. They're eating little white bass, so you had to match the hatch. Reaction, but I can't, you know, I'm a jig worm guy, and I could not catch him on that. I caught some drop shot in a LaRue tattletale the second day when it was calm. But the big ones, they wanted something new. So I was using a giant jerkbait, a big Lucky Craft jerkbait or a big Rogue jerkbait. And then today I got on that Strike King crankbait, and they had to look like white bass, and you had to make the right cast. That was the key. And you know, and when you experience it, it just doesn't seem real.
It's real, my friend. One more time, let's show them just how real it is. Woo! And also on Championship Sunday, the 2017 Toldeo Bend Bassmaster Elite Series champion.
Folks, that's it. We'll
We
get you
started
right up the
at
next one.
102nd.